What's going on, podcast? We got some new news for you guys. Prestinni is not going to the LA home series. Fero is going to be taking his spot. It's confirmed. I know in the first section we talk about it, but it's actually not a rumor anymore. It is confirmed. And then we're going to break down the home series this weekend, give our predictions, what we think is going to happen this weekend. Also, if you're listening on the podcast platforms, we do on YouTube now. We're putting out video just for a little more content. And then also, if you're watching this on YouTube and you're out somewhere you can't watch the video, we also are on Spotify, on Apple, Stitcher, and Google Play. So you can listen to the podcast anytime, same episodes, or you can watch it on YouTube if you enjoy visuals. So enjoy this episode.
Well, hey guys, so we're here, BroAMs, talking about LA. This coming weekend is gonna be kind of crazy. I think the weekend's a whole bunch of crazy. I apologize for my voice. It's a little hoarse. I have a cough, so you might mic a couple times because I have the cough right now.
Beautiful. Hit that cough button.
Don't worry, I'm not running a fever. I don't have coronavirus. I live in West Virginia. No one's around me. But guys, so I want to talk about a couple like breaking small things. There is a rumor going out. I'm not saying it's true. We don't know at all what's going on. This is a rumor we saw on the subreddit. CDL Intel tweeted out rumor that Ferocities would be filling in for the Mutineers in place of Prestinni for the weekend. Reasons unknown. So just saying, take it with a grain of salt. Not sure what's going to happen because there's been a couple tweets. They've been deleted. We don't know what's going on. I don't know.
If it does happen, do you think that Ferocities could be an improvement over Prestinni?
Dude, Prestinni's been so good. I don't think so.
I know. I'm a Prestinni fan. But
yeah,
Ferocities has been pretty good too. But he's not been playing. Well, he hasn't been playing the events in the pro scene. I'm sure he's been scrimming against some pros and stuff.
Yeah,
so
or like
he may be
up.
up to snuff, but still, Prestinni's like been the heart of that team.
He has been. He's been the center, this glue. I feel like for the Mutineers.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I'm eager to see what happens on Saturday. But the biggest thing is talking about LA, the LA homestand. You know, it's being hosted by the Gorillas and the Shell LA Optic.
Ooh.
Every time, bro, every time.
Big Shell.
But LA Gorillas finally officially announced. We talked about it last episode about the roster, potential benches, potential starters, but they officially announced their starting roster for the LA homestand. They're shaking it up, guys. They said, hey, we're sporting a new look this weekend. And so starting roster for LA Gorillas is Spark, Aqua, Blast, Decimate, and Vivid. So the guys we talked about.
Confirmed. Yep.
Confirmed by the Gorillas. It's happening. Honestly, I understand Aches isn't there, and like we don't have Lacefield or Saints. But in my opinion, I'm actually I'm okay seeing what these young guns, these really hungry challenger players got for us, because you never know. What if they come out and they upset everyone in the league? It
could bring brand new life to LA Gorillas. The whole team. It could just, which I mean, like the whole team. You only have 2 left from the original team, but this could definitely spark some motivation, some better gameplay out of the Gorillas. I mean, it can't get much worse. So I mean, really, you think it's a risk to drop 3 of your main people that have been pros for years, and
we don't know if they've been dropped.
Well, so not dropped, benched.
Yeah. So I will say, people be careful what you're seeing on Twitter. Deserto kind of had a clickbaity title saying they got dropped. You actually read it and everything. There's no clarification if they've been dropped or they got benched. I'm assuming they got benched because they have contracts, unless someone has picked them up already. So, like, I'm pretty sure that the Gorillas aren't going to drop Aches. What if Aches is like, hey, I'll coach these guys?
Yeah.
Like, I can see Aches right now in his current, like, where he's at, coaching.
He'd be a great coach.
Oh, definitely. And, you know, he's such a hard ass. So,
exactly. Yeah.
So that's how, like, Rambo is. Excuse me.
Right. Empire picking up Rambo, which as a general manager, not a coach, but.
Well, he's head coach / general manager right now.
Oh, he is head coach too?
Yeah. Right now he's splitting both roles.
Okay. Well, I mean, Rambo's one of the smartest pros to ever play Call of Duty, so that can,
he's also
only
a
help
huge
anything.
Hard ass.
And Dallas is a team with great talent that's struggling really bad, so Rambo could really help them.
And I will say again, struggling really bad. They still play second. They lose a lot of matches to Huntsman.
Yeah.
I still think that they're really good. They still have 2 young guys. One guy who's coming over from a different game entirely. Like
they got to prove to me.
They do.
Empire's my team. They got to prove to me.
I know. But yeah, so we'll see what goes on there. But yeah, so I wanted to report on the LA Guerrillas and their starting roster. And we'll maybe get into power rankings and what our predictions are for the weekend, because it's no matter what going to be an interesting weekend. I would say that much.
Yeah, let's talk about the power rankings. So this is Intellect's CDL power rankings. Normally we would go off of namelesses, but I actually don't know what namelesses are right now. So we're gonna go with these. These were on the subreddit as well. They had Atlanta FaZe 1, Chicago 2, Rocker at 3. Then they had the Empire at 4. Very debatable because they did play second, like you said, but they've also struggled at the same time.
Yeah.
And then Florida 5, Paris, London, then Seattle, Toronto, New York, LA Guerrillas, and Optic LA. So pretty much the only situations that could be flip-flop there is like the 4 and 5. Dallas, Florida could flip-flop. You know, if you wanted Florida 4, Dallas 5.
I still think like I want to see more consistency out of Florida before I can give them a higher ranking, put them in that top 4 slot. But same with Empire. Like I think they're kind of just in there flippy floppy. We need to see them play better. We know they can play good. Right. We need to see the consistency against these high tier teams.
And it's kind of the same thing that we saw Florida get second place to a dominant team FaZe, just like Dallas got second place to Chicago, a dominant team.
Yeah. But yeah, so I still feel like the power rankings are good. Still sucks to see Seattle Surge at number 8, but it's still better than 12th place Optic. Did you see? Okay, real quick, digressing, not gonna take long, but Maven had a message for Dashy in Optic LA, and it was awesome. I urge you guys. It's on the CDL channel. It's contesting the hard point, the official Call of Duty League channel, and it was just great because Maven had a rant, and it was perfect, hilarious.
Yeah, I heard
and
that.
It was so good. But Optic needs to get their heads out of their butts and prove to us that they're a good team, because I
100%.
really think if they didn't suck at the beginning of the year, like they have the talent that can almost rival FaZe Clan or Atlanta FaZe. Sorry, not FaZe Clan. So
right. All right, so let's jump straight into some predictions here. We'll read off the groups. We got Group A, that is the Guerrillas, Rocker, Optic, and the Seattle Surge. And then our group B is FaZe, the Empire, Mutineers, and the Subliners.
Mm-hmm.
LA, I think you stacked the other group, giving them FaZe, Empire, and Mutineers, which Mutineers, when they scheduled this, wasn't who we thought they were.
True.
So,
it's a good point. Good
different.
Point. They didn't play second.
Right. So the opening matches for Saturday, we got FaZe versus Florida right there. Obviously, I think we choose FaZe to come out on top there.
Definitely.
And then you got Rocker in Seattle. I'm gonna say Rocker's gonna win that.
Yeah,
don't give me that shrug. You know they're gonna beat Seattle.
You never know, man.
You never know. You never know.
What? Who's it? Proster? Who replaced Enable?
Pander.
Mm-hmm. Not Proter. Pander. You never know. He might be that changing thing.
He might,
because he wasn't doing stocks in between scrims.
Day trading in between scrims, man.
I love Enable. I love Surge. But the best thing right now is to get the team a win. No, I agree with you. I think Minnesota will come out on top, but I think Seattle has the easiest chance of beating Optic for sure. We'll see. I don't know how these young guns are with LA.
Yeah. Empire and Subliners. I think Dallas will come out on top of that pretty easily. I mean, the Subliners had the one change of 0 and Happy, but I don't think that's going to make a difference against Empire. Put sensor in. No.
I was going to say. Put sensor in.
And then Guerrillas and Optic. That's a toss-up, because if Optic shows up this weekend and their talent on paper plays, they're gonna be playing good. Hey, and then the Guerrillas got new players, so they may come out hot.
Like I think right now what Guerrillas has for them, like both teams, they could come out super hot.
Yeah.
Like Guerrillas has 2 new guys from Challengers. that are wanting to prove themselves on main stage. They can either come in super hot and prove to the world that they're beasts, or first time on main stage gets a little sketchy. You know, like it's a tough moment, I think, all around.
Optic whips them and says, "Welcome to the CDL, boys."
Yeah, right. But I was like, but it's also Optic. You have some of the best players on paper on the team.
Right.
Like I was thinking about, I was like, you brought in like 2 guys from Optic last year, 2 guys from 100 Thieves last year, and then you got JCap.
Yeah.
And I'm like this roster should be amazing. And of course, I know there's some role changes, so maybe it might be. Like supposedly they're doing a lot better online, but
I hope so. They need to pick it up.
We need some proof.
They're living up to the Shell name.
Oh, they definitely are, and they're getting all the hate.
They're full into it, so they need to pick it up a little bit, because I love the way the league has competition. Like, 1 through 6 or 7, 8, any of them could win. Relatively, like, it's close games, and people are flip flopping wins against each other and stuff. Yeah. And then you've got Ultra and Optic and LA, and and Subliners are just pulling it up the rear. Like, they need to get a little more competitive and make it more fun.
Definitely, I agree with you.
So,
like,
go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, like, the 2 teams that have a lot to prove, other than like, I think the guys who want to shut up the haters the most is Dallas. They're like, shut up, Huntsman fans, and also Optic LA, just like, dude, we're good. I feel like those are the two teams that really need to come out and prove to all the haters that they're actually they deserve to be here.
Exactly. All right, so let's pick out of Group A. We know that 2 teams come out of each group to go into the semifinals. So Group A, I'm just going to throw out my teams first. I would say that Minnesota and Seattle are going to come out of Group A.
I agree with you 100%. I think it's Minnesota and Seattle coming out.
Who do you think in Group B?
Oof. Honestly, it's such a toss-up, but I'm pretty sure it would be.
Well, FaZe, we know FaZe, but
FaZe is coming out, but I'm gonna say FaZe in Dallas.
You're gonna say Dallas
the
over
Empire
Florida?
prove themselves. Yeah, okay. I think so. Because I think from the games we've seen of Dallas play Florida, they're superior.
I'm gonna agree with that, because if it is true that Prestinni isn't coming this weekend and Fero's playing, I've actually not always been that on board with how good people think Fero is. I mean, I think he's a good player. Obviously, he's a top amateur and maybe even better than some of the pros, but I don't think he's Prestinni good. I think it definitely downgrades Florida to bring Fero.
Will we see New York beat them if that's the case?
Oh, that Florida could be one of the first teams out. They could be the first 0-2 out of that group.
If whatever this rumor is, if that's the case,
if Fero goes,
that could be it.
That's true. Not to hate on Fero that much, but I just don't think he makes it. I think he's just not Prestinni, so it downgrades the team. Yeah.
Just play censor. That's all New York does.
That's all you need to do. Yeah, y'all will beat. I mean, you'll beat FaZe.
You'll be FaZe. Just play censor, bro. Sim's got nothing on censor.
Yeah, exactly.
Sim's short. Censor's like arms are as big as his whole body.
Like it'll just be like the holding against his forehead and Sim's just swinging. Somebody needs to make that GIF, dude. It's just like, and then Sim's just like.
Well, what I saw it actually, it was a political one, but it was like it's from Spaceballs, where he's holding Dark Helmet back. So you need to put Censor's face and Simp on that. That'd be perfect. I might do that later.
That sounds like a great idea, actually. All right, so we're talking Rocker and Surge coming out, and FaZe and Empire coming out. So based on the flip flop, you'd really have like a FaZe Surge matchup, and then a Rocker and Dallas. I think we would just see FaZe and Rocker in the.
Honestly, yeah, I actually was saying the same thing. It's like, as much as I'm gonna pull for Surge if they come out and they're playing Atlanta.
Yeah, I'll be pulling for them too.
Yeah, but like on paper, from what we've already seen, it really looks like I would much rather see Rocker versus FaZe. Because
it'd be a great game. And did Rocker play FaZe last in?
They did, and it was
3-2, didn't it?
Yeah, it went 3-2, I believe, and I could be completely wrong, but
it may have been a 3-1. I don't remember.
But still, like I think they want revenge, and after listening to that one podcast with Midnight on it and talking about the whole team chemistry with Rocker, I've become like, hey, out of all the teams, I love Surge the most, but Rocker's a close second now.
It did go
like
3-2.
I'm gonna be pulling for them.
It did go 3-2, and Rocker took a hard point off of him.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, they took a hard point off of him, and they lost 6-4 in Game 5. So really close matchup. That'd be a great championship matchup to watch.
Definitely. Rocker's got a lot to prove, because another thing too is like no one thought anything of this roster, and now they're actually coming out really strong in the top 4 in some most power rankings.
Yeah. So out of a FaZe Rocker, you think FaZe will still win the weekend?
Honestly, right now, yeah. Unless Rocker can really upset them and catch them off guard.
Yeah.
Like I think someone said it perfectly, and I won't say exactly who because I don't remember off the top of my head. But someone said like FaZe is really good at this game early on. But a lot of the other teams are actually going to start getting better and start being able to rival them more. But I still think right now no one's as good as they are.
I think
at this point,
it's one of those things where until you can dethrone them, you gotta pick them.
Yeah.
Nobody's even really gotten close to dethroning them when it mattered, like in semifinals, championships.
They did almost get dethroned from Toronto.
Toronto, yeah. Oh gosh. So
man, if that would have happened, whew.
Expect a FaZe win this weekend again.
I concur.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap up this episode. We are going to be doing episodes after each night of the weekend event. So Saturday night, we're going to do an episode. Sunday night, we'll do an episode. And so be watching YouTube, be watching the podcast platforms for those to come out. And we'll just do whatever we can to bring you the best news and the most entertaining stuff from the fans' perspective. That's what we enjoy. You're all right. Y'all have a good night, evening, morning, whatever time you're watching this, and we'll see you on the chat this weekend.
Later. Bye.